So what do you do when someone gives you a KLR to ride the length of your home country? You pack your bags and you ride.
We're here at our official 0 point for our Philippine Loop.
I'm starting with the longest but most familiar stretch of it, the North Luzon Loop. To me, the North Loop is like revisiting the greatest hits of the places I've ridden or driven to in the Philippines.
Good morning. It's 6:45 here in Atok. And it's 4 degrees outside. Oh my god, I'm wearing 5 layers and I put on my spare riding gloves because it was so cold last night. But what really helped me sleep was Toby had his old mountaineering trick of putting hot water in a bottle. And that finally got me warm enough to get my heart rate down and have some decent sleep. Oh my god. But today, in a few hours, we will be back and too warm again. But for now, it's coffee and getting ready to go.
So if you're wondering why it's so hard to sleep and hard to get air, it's because we're about 2,285 meters elevation, which is some of the highest elevation you can sleep in the Philippines. It's 8:58 a.m. for a start time of about 9 a.m. when I actually get moving. And the first ride of the day is a little bit challenging, going down this steep tire track with a little bit of a slippery section there. Alright, I'm just here. Ingat, medyo madulas dyan. Alright. Eyes up, eyes up. Okay. Eyes up, eyes up. Slowly. Eyes up, eyes up. Eyes up. Taking the left here. I'm so nervous. But okay, I can see the ground. Testing how slow the KLR can go. Okay, I'm down. I mean, I'm at the bottom, not I'm down. Oh, thank goodness. Are you up ahead? Mount Timbak glowing in the morning daylight. Third highest mountain in Luzon. Still one of the highest mountains in the Philippines. And it's cool because unlike Mount Pulag, it's got this face which is a big pyramid. So it looks like a proper big mountain face. Where can we park? Okay, just here. We'll just park behind the morning.
As I was setting up my drone here, a Himalayan 450 pulled up right beside Toby's. Turns out the rider is a friend of Toby's who was leading his friends on a ride through the Cordilleras that day. You're never far from fellow riders up here.
Okay, here with the Brixton boys.
And just as we were leaving, a big group of small bike riders arrived, who turned out to be fellow Philippine Loopers. Pleasure to meet you guys.
After that fun encounter, it's time to go. That's the luxury we have by having days that aren't too long, so that we can just take our time if we feel like it. "30 kilometers. Alright, this is one of my favorite view decks here, and I'll show you why. So this road completely collapsed not too long ago, and it was on a day that we were supposed to pass here. The rain was so strong, and we heard that this road just disappeared pretty much. Whee! Oh, the KLR, she loves it! Okay, we're off Halsema.
Our route now takes us off Halsema Highway at Bugyas, and we rapidly descend as we make our way down to Cervantes, Ilocos Sur.
Busan, oh, nasa Busan na tayo. Tob, we didn't have to fly or take the train. Show me na, chow oh. Wow, oh my god. That's a big mountain. I wonder what that is. Or if that's already yung mountain range ng Cervantes. Yeah, big sky. Big sky. Refreshing sa mata ko na may motor sa harap eh. Kasi it gives a kind of a sense of scale. This is nice river riding na. Characteristic of approaching Cervantes. Alright, we've officially entered Ilocos Sur. Next province. Look at that view, oh my god. I really have a soft spot for these roads that people just pass through but aren't like the first choice. They're so quiet. Especially these roads that are basically tracing rivers. Oh, we're actually in the middle of the paddies. Comillas. So, trivia, so we're in Comillas North according to the sign. I have actually been to Comillas, and it's in, I believe it's in Asturias? Yeah, somewhere northern Spain. I've been to, it's a really beautiful town. But Comillas North is really beautiful too, in its own way.
We soon arrive in Cervantes town, jump off for the famed Besang Pass, one of the Philippines' greatest mountain roads. But that's not where we're heading today. Instead of going west to the pass, we're cutting north towards Quirino to cross another set of much less traversed mountain roads.
This is now the road connecting Cervantes, which we just rode through, to Quirino. Look at that. Green fields. This goes up to a really beautiful ridge. I mean, it's just hot, but it's like an open ridge with the Cordilleras to the right. Well, the Cordillera Mountain Province, and then the Cordillera Besang Pass, Tirad Pass to the left. That is just amazing. Tirad Peak right front and center. It's even aligned with the Quirino Archway. Welcome to Quirino, Ilocos Sur. Not to be mistaken for Quirino Province, which we will be passing through in a couple of days. In 4 days. Yeah. Diba? That's where we stopped last time, yung ano na yun. Yung may concrete barriers to my shoulder.
The first time I was here was on an epic 4-day mountain road tour of the north with my buddies Martin and Joe. I was on the Interceptor then, and we traversed this route en route to Vigan, and then rode back the next day and then did Besang Pass. And on the way down, I memorably lost the front brakes on the Enfield. You can watch that adventure on my channel titled All Beauty, No Brakes. Okay, back to the ride.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Look at the river, the whole valley. Unbelievable. And the big bridge right there in the distance. Namitpit. Incredible. Plus a hairpin over here. Let's just take it gently.
And here, in the middle of this lonely road in Namitpit, I spot a foreign couple touring 2-up on Honda Click. Shout out to you guys. I love what you're doing.
You don't see that every day. I think I need to take a picture with the bike there. Oh, you look so cool there. I need a shot like that. Nandun na tayo sa loob ng view na tinitingnan natin. Yeah, kasi look oh, nandun tayo sa ilog eh. And there's Tirad Peak. Amazing. Tayong alikabok. Whoa. Yung pinaka-solid na hairpin is the last turn going to skyline eh. Grabe yun, ang tarik na, ang sharp na pakanan. So kailangan buwaluhan yun and make sure hindi mag-overshoot. Ayun, tawid na. Strange tunnel.
We arrive at the bottom of the river valley in Quirino town, making a short gas stop before climbing back up to the highlight of the afternoon.
So it's interesting as we enter this mountain road, it's noticeably not in as good condition as the ones you just come from. So that's just an interesting thing, although now it's improved a little bit. But yeah, 10 kilometers of mountain roads to get to Quirino skyline. Really sharp, really steep. Ooh, hard to, di ko na siya nakuha ng nasa tamang lane. So there are a lot of these really steep hairpins going up to skyline. So you gotta be careful. But look at this, surreal scenery. Another sharp hairpin. Steep hairpins all day till we get to the top. Oh, so this is Tirad Pass protected landscape. Tirad Pass is somewhere up there then. I guess this is where the pass ends up. It starts at Gregorio del Pilar. That's my guess. Take it really wide. This is the last one na. Hindi ko pa rin magawa ng tama. Ang hirap. You got it, no? Here we are. We have arrived. Quirino skyline view deck. It is also time. Oh, way past time for lunch. So, yeah, I need a break. It is 2:09 p.m. And this is our first meal, I think, in 24 hours. At hindi naman kami nagtitipid. It's just, we're not getting hungry. We're just so focused on the ride. So, well-deserved big meal with some proper Ilocano food. Dinakdakan, sinanglaw, 2 rice. Let's finally eat.
So it's actually my 3rd time here in Skyline, but last time was 2 years ago, and those last 2 times were just a day apart. So I want to see what it looks like now. So this was still all under construction the last time I was here. What was surely still there is this view.
Despite the distance we've traveled with all its twists and turns, Skyline View Deck actually remains on the same long, enormous line of the Central Cordillera mountain range in which we started our day way back in Atok. Just north of Skyline, this western range finally dips down nearly back to sea level in Abra, before rising back up in Ilocos Norte and Apayao, then ending at the very tip of Luzon.
Alright, now it's time to head down to the coast, MacArthur Highway, for an easy ride down to the historic town of Vigan, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. That I made a I shot a docu for in 2011, but I never edited it. Long story. Let's go. And welcome to Vigan. Yeah. Alright. Finishing time 5:04 p.m. Odo 1698.
To quote the UNESCO website, established in the 16th century, Vigan is the best preserved example of a planned Spanish colonial town in Asia. Its architecture reflects the coming together of cultural elements from elsewhere in the Philippines, from China, and from Europe, resulting in a culture and townscape that have no parallel anywhere in East and Southeast Asia. In this footage, you'll notice metal sheets covering some of the facades, and that's because many of these heritage buildings were heavily damaged during a magnitude 7.0 earthquake in 2022.
Here, our place to stay. Just really good value. It's a Friday night in Vigan, and I really love the early evening vibe here. The lights are on, there's still some sunlight. It's always such a nice vibe here. So today was the shortest, hardest, and best riding day so far, and how could it not be, going from Atok through the Halsema and then down the mountain to Cervantes and then up through Quirino. And I think there's only one more day, the day we're going to Baler, that we're riding through so many twisties. But yeah, what a great day. So many beautiful sections, shot so much footage. And it's so nice to be able to end the day on a cool evening here in Vigan. Even though there's lots of people, the vibe's still all right. So yeah, we're gonna go see about some empanada now. Shout out to Papa Jesus. And empanada found. Irene's. Yeah. Okay. And so see. So this is something I just found out. The orange Ilocos empanada, everybody knows, is a Ilocos Norte thing. But what we have here in Vigan is different. It's more of a yellow color, and it has their vegan longanisa inside. Let's try this out. So you know that I don't usually do the actual food consumption because I'm not a food blogger, but this is my first time to try this, so I wanted to. Yeah, also good. Hearty. Look at that. It's like dumami na mga foreigner na pumupunta dito compared to before. So it's getting put on the map. That's good. Help them recover from the earthquake.
The next day, we have an easy morning, no rush, and so we walk down the Central Cordilleras and I take pictures in the morning light. Alright, so we wandered down Calle Crisologo and we stumbled on this place, Heritage Brew. We had even bumped into the owner. They're generally considered to have the best coffee in Vigan. Some people say it's Rico, having an Aerocano. But it's just Rico because like wide coffee selection, some unexpected drinks, vegan longanisa, long silog for breakfast. In an ancestral home, like they actually converted this. They have the cafe now, and in a few months they're gonna open their own like inn, bed and breakfast. So I love having little discoveries like this, places that are still family owned. I was saying that it reminds me of the whole like the Kisaten culture in Japan, and it's just nice to stumble on because this is the kind of place that I've always said I wanted to see in Vigan. You know, not some generic franchise or whatever. And so I'm so glad there's one, and that the coffee and food is legit.
All right, it is day 4, 10:19 a.m. start. Odometer 1698. Next destination, Laoag City checkpoint. Okay.
Day 4's ride will be our easiest, covering well under 200 kilometers from Vigan to Pagudpud, almost exclusively on MacArthur Highway or Manila North Road, the main artery of the Philippine Northwest. From yesterday's bonanza of scenic mountain roads, today will be all flat, fast coastal roads.
Alright, so we're MacArthur Highway. We've covered about 40 kilometers now. And what I'm realizing after the riding of the past couple of days is that this kind of stuff, I mean, it's easy, it's fast, it deletes distance, but it's also not fun to ride because it's this combination of fast and busy, which is a dangerous combination. So here I just feel less relaxed. I'm constantly scanning for threats and I'm not even going that fast, or constantly deciding about how and where to overtake. And it's day 4. I feel a little tired and sleepy. Yeah, and we had a run-in with HPG as well. So it's not my favorite part, but it's also a good way to cover distance. Alright, we are entering Ilocos Norte. This is not the checkpoint. The checkpoint is Laoag. Still 40 kilometers away. Checkpoint. Looks like we're here with other Philippine loopers. Yeah, for sure. Guys on GSs. That's what's so fun about the official Philippine Loop. You're always bumping into fellow loopers. Hello, hello. Picture time. So that was nice. Two other Philippine loopers on from Cebu on a 1250 and F850 GS. So if you really ask me why you would register for the official version, a huge part of it is the community around it. So this is the first time I've ever seen like a big Balinese inspired resort in a Petron, and this is still in Laoag. See, that just Java Hotel in Laoag. That's crazy. Now more empty open roads north of Laoag, on the way first to Burgos, to the lighthouse, and then on to Pagudpud. Wow, so the roads are really empty. That's so cool. Wow. Highway by the beach. Okay, just entered Burgos, Ilocos Norte. That's the home of the famous windmills. And our next destination, the Cape Bohiador Lighthouse. Whew, that's a strong wind. Well, that's the reason why they put the windmills here. That's where we're headed. Oh wow, they made a nice road. Japan feels. This is the visitor center. So I think they let motorcycles go all the way up. Perks of riding a motorcycle.
The Cape Bohiador Lighthouse, or Burgos Lighthouse, was first lit on March 30, 1892, and it still guides ships to this day. Largely intact, but now with a modern solar-powered electric light, it marks the northwesternmost point of Luzon.
This is the first time I've ridden here, so it's pretty cool seeing it, not from behind the windshield. And you can also feel it not being behind the windshield, that it's so windy. Amazing. Exiting Burgos, entering Bangi. Okay, we're turning around to go to a cafe that was recommended to me. I was gonna skip it, but when I saw the parking lot, I thought, okay, that looks pretty cool. Let's take a gander. Do I have to pay an entrance fee? Hello po. Yes.
Friends people, 20 pesos per head.
Off-road.
Just as we were leaving, the local rider who recommended this place to me via Instagram arrives to say hello.
CK, thanks so much for coming to see us here and for recommending this place. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Wow, look at that. More windmills as far as the eye can see. I didn't realize there were so many of them for some reason. I've camped beside them now, like at the foot of them in 2016. Yeah, for a landscape photography trip. Multiple slalom. Uy. Ayan, open road. Banat. I wonder what lies in those mountains. Look at that. Because this is very, very north. So it really has a frontier feel. It still has its tree cover. What secrets do those mountains hide? And it's really off the tourist map completely. It's the northwestern tip of the Cordilleras. And here we are, Pagudpud officially. The northwestern frontier of Luzon. I don't know if it's because we're really so far north, it just has a different feel. And the light also hits a little different. If it's a different latitude altogether. And then look at this. Oh my gosh. Wow. What in the... I've forgotten completely about this stretch of road. Oh my god. Wow.
Finally, at around 3:30, we turn off MacArthur Highway, heading northwest to get to Saud Beach, Pagudpud's beautiful and famously far beach, almost 600 kilometers away from home in Manila.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Thailand. No, Thailand in the north end of Bicol. And you know, that explains why I have a weird anxiety welling up, because I remember FJ last year. See, that's the sign for where we're going, Renovati. Okay, let's just follow the signs. Okay. Something I've also learned from FJ, when in doubt of which way to take going to the resort in a remote place, always look for the signs. This is our place. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at Pagudpud, Renovati, and even though it's the weekend, it doesn't look too crowded. Ending time 3:32 p.m. 1,860 kilometers on the odometer, and then trip meter says 162.4. What does the Chigi trip meter say? 163.2. More or less, same idea. Alright, mission accomplished. And cut.
So I haven't stayed in Pagudpud or been here to Saud Beach since 2009, I think, with the family, extended family, and I completely forgotten what it was like. It's such a different vibe. Let me show you. Still very, very gubat. There's a bit of a wild feeling. And look at this like tower, overgrown. It's so quiet even on a Saturday. Wow. Our room, good size, 2 beds, and then look outside. Can I open it from here? How to open? There you go. Let's see. Huh.
So it took us some time to find a place to eat because despite it being a Saturday, all the restaurants are super quiet. Almost all of them are empty. So there's not that. So I just chose the one closest to our place that has a beach view. It also has the most unpronounceable name, Emohoro Beach Resort. Check out the view. But the amazing thing here is they do an awesome bug net. So 5 stars for that, Emohoro. We also have some salt pepper squid for additional protein, and they have a very butter forward garlic rice. Oh yes, hitting the spot.